In the vast expanse of fantasy football history, where dreams and strategies collide, where mere mortals vie for the fleeting glory of season's triumph, there exists one man, one titan, who stands above all others in a world bound by the unpredictability of the gridiron, where chaos reigns and fortunes can change in the blink of an eye. Only one man has dared to rise above, to challenge the very fabric of this league's destiny. I speak of Roshan, the architect of our league. The architect of our league's enduring legacy, the commissioner whose wisdom transcends the mundane world of touchdowns and fumbles. He is the keeper of the sacred rules, the guardian of our draft board, the visionary who has shaped this league into the ultimate test of wit, will, and tenacity. For Roshan does not merely oversee a league, no, he crafts a saga. He does not speak of glory for himself. Instead, he elevates us all to heights we never thought possible. He is the light that guides us through the dark, the treacherous waters of waiver wires, of bye weeks. With every decision, he opens new realms of possibility, shattering the limits of what he believes could be achieved within the bounds of fantasy football. And as the league embarks on its 13th year, it is his unwavering dedication that fuels our passion, his commitment that ignites our competitive fire. He does not do it for fame nor fortune, but for the love of the game and the spirit of camaraderie, for the thrill that only fantasy football can bring. So, gentlemen, it's because of this man right here, this legend, that we gather today, poised at the threshold of another fantasy season. So let us stand. Let us cheer. For we are in the presence of greatness, the man who leads us, who defines us, the man who shall forever be known as Commissioner Roshan. Welcome to the Second and Nine podcast.
How do I follow that up? How do I follow that up?
Go eat 58 hot dogs.
Well, I got 2 right in front of me, and I'll enjoy them today. But
Whew.
I can't follow that up, and I can't follow your performance eating those dogs up.
Yeah, dude. If only I had tried to eat those hot dogs with the same tenacity as I delivered that speech.
There's something with the energy levels, maybe like the moon cycle. Like,
dude.
Man, can I just say? I will say, you did a good job. You did a good job. I don't think you completed the competition, but you did a good job. But,
okay.
Oh my God, the amount of fucking whining and bitching that came my personal way, like every single day throughout this process, even before the process started. Oh my God. So
did I push you over the edge of Commissioner Suicide?
That's the question, right?
Oh God.
I have to think about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I mean, if I have to think about it, then probably. Yeah. You heard it here first.
All right. Well, here's the thing. I think a lot of the pain and suffering could have been avoided simply with one small thing, which would
Oh
have been
my
a
God! If I
reduction
hear about
element.
the fucking reduction element one more time.
But what I'll say is I ate hot dogs for 20, I think it was 22 or 23 out of my 27 meals over a 9-day period. So sure, I might have not finished the dogs, but I honestly do think I gave it a good go. Let the court hold their own opinion. Everyone is entitled to that. But man, tough challenge. I also thought it was tough having it endure for 9 days. Like I got put through the ringer, and honestly, I think my challenge started 6 months ago. I've been talking about hot dogs. It's weird. Like
Psychological warfare, right? Everybody talked
God.
about hot dogs to you. Every time you ate a hot dog, you had to think about, oh my God, I'm gonna have to eat 58 more of these.
Dude, no one, like, people knew about hot dogs that I didn't even know knew about me. Like, it's just I was getting, I
See,
don't know,
you're legit like that hot dog man now. You're like the hot
Shane.
dog emoji.
I was Shane, Maddie, like Maddie's husband, like family members, just random people would come out the woodworks and like DM me hot dog shit, or I don't
Yeah.
know. So I've had that psychological warfare. I'm happy it's behind us. I'm happy Brandon's punishment is behind us.
Oh fuck yeah. Oh my god. Even more than yours. I'm happy Brandon's is over.
Let this be a new chapter.
New chapter of punishments. Yeah, I don't want to get rid of punishments. Yeah, like I think, but we got to find like what made it fun again. That's what
Yeah.
I'll say.
So let's as we dive in, what makes fantasy fun for you?
I think it's just the people. Like that sounds like such a political answer, right? But like it's just the thing that keeps us it together in a space, right? And like we're not physically together anymore. And that's so evident even like this year as we move to long draft. We can't even get everybody together online at the same time anymore. And I think that'll continue to happen. But
Mm,
it's just the fact of like, hey, August is almost over. Labor Day weekend is here. We're about to draft, baby. And like that excitement and that knowing that the rest of the year is like with fantasy, with trash talk, with the boys, it's just good stuff.
yeah, it is good stuff. Well, run us through just a quick recap over the years, how we've evolved to year 13. Like, walk the
Yeah.
listeners through a little bit.
I mean, like just starting in the basement with the big printout draft board, everybody in person, summer break heading into college. Like I get nostalgic thinking about like picking the stickers from the draft board and putting it up. And my hopes are still to be able to use the league funds one day to get a whole in-person draft going and do that one more time. But in the meantime, right, we started to do online when we were in college back in Arlington, back at the 1817 crib, like with the stickers again. And then, now we're back to online and now we're in this new era, long draft. And I personally think it's interesting. It's going well. It adds a new wrinkle. Um, Ever since we started the league, right? Like we started the league as a PPR league when PPR wasn't a thing, when PPR was not the ESPN standard, and now it is. Like I just love that we continually like push how to play fantasy, moving
Yep.
to keep sleeper, keeper, like all that kind of stuff. Like I think has made it more interesting, more fun, more challenging. It hasn't gotten boring at all.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten boring. It keeps getting better. The rule changes keep it fresh. Even this draft change, I logged on and I missed a little bit the in-person feel that you get when everyone joins the draft room and you only got 90 seconds and you got to kind of change on the fly. But the slow draft, it's making it more of a thing a little bit. We're talking about it, we're checking. It's not just 60 minutes and it's done. It's more like I think it's going to take a couple days, especially as we get into the lower rounds. But yeah, before we
Well,
get
so
into
just
this,
before you go further, like I think the thing is like we're still going to use that Wednesday time slot that was available,
yeah,
and just try to 90-second it as far as we can, right?
yeah,
I think Matt was the only person who couldn't make the Wednesday, and maybe people like actually are not going to be available, but
totally.
you don't want to miss the whole draft, and you don't want to miss especially your first key picks. So I think like slow draft into like everyone together, final picks, at least spending a couple more hours together,
Yeah.
like the day before the season starts. Like that's the exciting thing. So we'll get a little bit of the best of both worlds.
Yep. Yep. The only constant is change. So I've enjoyed over the years, and we'll see what we keep bringing. But let's talk a little bit about the slow draft. We can even pull up the draft board while we're here. A pick just got made while we were chatting. Matt picked Kyle Pitts. So that's a third round pick right there. How do you think it's going? I've seen some surprising picks. Also some not surprising picks. Brandon goes tight end early every single year. We know that at this point. The QB pick was a little early though. Peyton's got the triple stack.
The triple stack this early is deadly. I think, yeah, like between Peyton and Matt, like up and spending the time to do tempo run, like it's paid off for them. And I mean, I think the cool thing about keeper and like these more interesting evolving trades, like Matt really spent 2 years like being competitive but also like building for the future. And this is his year, right?
Yeah.
He already has a stud keeper lineup. He has 5 picks in the first 3 rounds. It's scary. It's dangerous. Like he might just run away with this whole season.
I think
Um,
Matt's going to steamroll us this season. I mean, barring major injuries or catastrophic draft pick failure here, like Matt's looking like he's going to absolutely sweep.
yeah, but
Ab-
dude, the thing is that that can happen, right? You could easily see all of these picks falling apart.
yeah.
Saquon like not as productive on an Eagles team. Stephon fighting for targets in 3 receiver setup. DK continuing to have like another bad year. Zay Flowers, I think, is my only like not like well done pick for Matt. But I'm low on Zay Flowers. And then Kyle Pitts, like I actually think he's gonna have a great year, but you could also see him again just not producing. And I mean, then you have the safety blanket with Amon-Ra, but
Yeah.
it could happen. It absolutely could happen. And nobody crumbles like Matt crumbles.
Mm.
So it'll be exciting.
You know, this could be, some people think it might be Matt's year. You know, he's got the wedding coming up. He's got hella picks, but does Matt suffer from insomnia or no? Crumble cookie. Maybe that's what we should call Team Matt.
Yeah.
Um, okay, we'll see how Matt goes. And I think, you know, I'll comment on a couple more people's teams. Not giving any ratings yet. Not
No
giving ratings yet.
ratings.
We
Yeah.
gotta wait till,
Job's not done.
yeah, jobs just started for most people. I mean, Roshan hasn't even made an actual draft pick yet. We're in the middle of round 3. When is your first pick?
The 6th round.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's got to be tough.
I went all in last year and didn't work out for me. But
Nope. Yeah, I had a little chat with Matt on the Discord actually yesterday, and I mean, I understand what tank season looks like, and so I said, dude, I had my chance last year. I had like 8 picks within the first 5 rounds or something like that, so I was feeling good. You know, didn't work out, but I hate MJ's initial build. I really hate it. He Mixon, you said you like Mixon a little bit. I think old Adams, old, and then Gus Edwards. We're really keeping Gus Edwards, dude.
dude, he's gonna be the starting running back on the Chargers for a run heavy Jim Harbaugh.
All right,
I don't know.
we'll find out.
I don't know if I don't know if there's a team that I hate, but I actually really like Bada's initial build. I really like Neighbors. Yeah, I agree the Daniel Jones part's going to be tough, but like building for the future, that could be insanely elite. CD, you got him again, probably the best receiver in the NFL. I think T. Higgins is going to have a bounce back, and I think Brees Hall is going to be the best running back over CMC this year. So like if and he's got that Burrow Higgins stack. I didn't realize that until just now. Like that was a really solid pick to get T. Higgins.
Oh, I
So
didn't realize it either.
yeah.
Baddest team is so confusing because him and Ryan are just completely switched. Oh, that stack is good. And I think Matt, not, I think Bada might have one of the most exciting Lamb neighbors, like wide receiver duos to cheer for. That's
Mhm.
just fun. That's Hollywood. So we'll see how that goes. How do I undo that?
I think
There we go.
safest team and consistently, like Mitch's teams are like solid and safe. Like Mitch has one of the like most low key, like just solid like winning percentages in the league history of all 13 years of the league.
Yeah.
Like, and I always like forget that, but like Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, James Conner, Jalen Hurts, that is going to be solid. And I don't think those people are going to get hurt. And then he has Puka on top of that.
Yeah.
Like, so
I'm hoping
well done, Mitch.
Puka takes a little bit of a, you know, step back
For yeah.
as Cup is healed this year. I went Cup. I've never had Cooper Cup on my team. I wanted him. That was my first round pick. Not the ADP play necessarily, but I don't pick again till the 4th round. So it's like you see a guy you want, you make him your guy.
Yep.
So I'm excited about that. The last thing I think I'll comment on for the time being is Gabe. Man, Gabe, I feel like Gabe picks the same players every single year. I don't know how many years has he had Debo and Jacobs? At least 2?
I think so. I mean, and they kind of just fell to his lap like both times again.
Yeah.
I really don't like Josh Jacobs, like watching him run, but I think he's gonna have a good year at Green Bay.
The AJ Dillon injury definitely boosted him last minute there.
Yeah, and then I will say about Gabe, like his keepers are all like low round, high value players. Like the Rashi Rice, Jalen Reed
Yep.
is they could be like wide receiver one or wide receiver twos overall.
Yeah.
So
Let's talk about that for a quick second before we move to the new season, new rules talk. I guess as we do it, let's look at those late round keepers. It's really interesting to see just like how much value you get when you can keep people low versus high.
yeah, absolutely, and that retains value. I think like moving forward too, because you see that I didn't see it as much last year. This year I see it a lot where you had to draft Cooper Cup in the first round, right? His trade value is like I don't want to say zero because he can still be a value this season, but his keeper value is like shot through the roof, like shot through the floor.
Yeah.
So there's this like gap of players like that you're keeping throughout the seasons, and then the gap that are like good players but like overdrafted or
Yep.
like drafted higher than their ADP.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely becomes interesting. And I think this year will be the most interesting aspect of that because, as you know, you can only eat one team can only keep a player 2 times, so a total of like 3 years. And there are a number of players that are going to have their keeper team expire this year. So, like for example, Matt, this is his last year to keep Amon Ra. MJ, his last year to keep Mahomes. Molly last year to keep Hill.
Ooh,
Preston's last year to keep McCaffrey. So a lot of these players that like have been kind of locked up could potentially open up this season if their teams are not performing
big
for
names.
more value. Yeah. So
Big
like
names.
those are like I kind of highlighted that in the Discord, but those are names everyone should keep an eye on.
And bad his whole team, right? Lamb, Hall, Burrow. This is his last year with all of them, right?
Yeah, that
Or what is the
maybe,
asterisk here mean?
those are people who have been kept twice. So Burrow,
Yep.
Lamb, Brees Hall. Yep, that's right. Yep.
Dang. So this is bad as last run with his initial dynasty build that he's been consistent with. He stuck with Hall through the ACL
Yep.
and through the rough start of this next season. So
Yeah.
kudos to him. I sent multiple trade offers.
Yeah.
Never happened.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see who's in play.
Okay. I think that's interesting. Some of those names will be fun to pick up again, like who gets a Tyreek Hill on their team next.
Yeah.
McCaffrey, maybe he'll be a little old, but I'm sure he'll still be a first or second rounder.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe another thing to talk about is there's some scoring tweaks and roster changes. Anything else we need to be aware of, Kamish?
Yeah, just the roster changes, and I've already seen some people kind of capitalize on these roster changes. Maybe no one or more so than like Matt, really. So the biggest thing is instead of one QB, two running backs, two receivers, one tight end, it's just one of each core position. So one running back, one receiver, and then those extra spots are moved to flex. So your roster construction really opens up. You know how running back two was always the hardest position to fill? Everybody was always like, I need a running back two. I need a running back two. Depending on how you construct your team, you may not need a running back two.
Yeah.
Or if you're going running back heavy, then, that's also a potential strategy if you're trying to get all receiving running backs. I think it opens up more flexibility. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I was doing some mock drafts. I thought it was really interesting. Like I think a lot of people probably kept a running back. I don't know the numbers on it, but I kept Gibbs, right? And I did some mock drafts, and I was like, "Fuck, drafting another running back. I might go one until rounds 10 below, and then I'm just gonna get some flyers and do some waiver wire stuff." But it's interesting seeing how that really can change because not only when you have two running backs in your roster that you need to fill, then you need a backup for the running back. So you're looking to actively draft maybe 3 or 4. Now you might only want to draft 1 or 2. So we'll see how that shakes things up. I don't know.
Yeah. You said your next pick is in the 4th round?
But yep, end of the 4th. unfortunately. And
I
then
mean, if
first of
I
the
were you, I would. He might already be gone. Let's see where he is.
who are you looking at? Are
Yeah,
we
I
about to
mean,
give the scoop away? By the time this hits, hopefully my pick in the fourth will have happened. We are at the last pick of the third right now.
uh, if I were you on the fourth, I would draft David Montgomery if he's available.
Mm,
Like you could probably start Montgomery and Gibbs, but an injury to either like escalates their value in either way.
yeah. I just told Gabe to make his pick since we're doing the pod live.
Oh, that'd be exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, a David Montgomery pick is interesting. I'd never picked him in any of my mocks, but that would be an interesting route to go. It really depends what receivers I've got available. I've got a couple I've got my eye on still. But dang, now you got in my head. Um, let's talk about your status as commissioner.
Yeah.
You said this is the farewell tour.
Yes.
Um, I don't know if I'm I don't know if I'm willing.
Wait.
I don't know if I'm willing to accept your resignation just yet.
Yeah.
Let you relinquish that crown. Is this set in stone, or if you had what are you thinking here?
Um, I've brought this up before. Like I brought this up at the end of year 10 that I really would be down to get to have someone else be commissioner, do like a rotating commissioner type of thing. No interest at all at that point. So and we've talked about it like personally, I think like things are changing in my life, like I'm getting busier. I think ultimately like it's a value if more people can jump in, support new ideas, new thoughts. So you're asking, is it set in stone? I wouldn't say it's set in stone, but I have received some like initial feedback and initial interest on the
Mm.
commissioner spot. So,
Ooh.
um, we talked about maybe doing a cabinet, which I was initially excited for. I'm less excited for it now because anytime there's like an issue, it becomes like another like sub vote or like you're challenging who really has the power. So I think I'm anti cabinet right now, but anyway, but I think I'm pro rotations. So maybe like a 3 year commissioner, 3 year commissioner, 3 year commissioner, something like that.
3 years is a long time, but hey, that's a hefty term. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, it's a lot of work, but like yeah, you definitely have to do it for more than a year.
Yeah,
I think
gotta get
yeah,
in the flow. And the
yeah.
cabinet. Do you like the idea of the cabinet?
As I was saying, like I did at first, but I don't just because I think it challenges
Yeah.
the authority of every person on that.
Okay.
I think maybe you could separate it like someone is a commissioner or like an in-season commissioner, and someone's an off-season commissioner because like the punishments and the draft order and like all that kind of setup like take some time, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe, I mean, I wonder if you could just list the 3 things you hate doing most, and we'll just do those things. But okay, if you've got some interest, then maybe I'll just leave it at that. But I
yeah,
was wondering if we could leave you as commish and then just help out with some of those side tasks. But you know what? Let's see maybe what the new look comes in as. But I'd love to see you come back as commish again one day, and you know
yeah.
that I think that'd be a good comeback story when you
I,
get your Jordan.
I appreciate it. Maybe uh, you know whoever the new commission is may not have been as flexible with the punishment as I was.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Maybe the new commissioner will pick a better punishment. Um, I appreciate your service and what you've done for holding together a ever changing yet constant friend group over the years. It's cool. Like we started as a group of kids in high school, went off to college, and look at that. Look how we brought our friends in, and like I think you've done a good job really holding the fabric of that all together. Um, let's talk about some top players to watch briefly. Uh, who are some players that you think are going to have a big impact this season? Who are you ready to watch on Sundays? Um, yeah, give me a couple.
yeah, so I think the young players are obviously really exciting, right? I think Anthony Richardson, Garrett Wilson,
Ooh.
they're gonna have phenomenal years. Rookies, right? Like Jaden Daniels, uh, then I can't remember. I can't think. I mean, well, yeah, Malik Neighbors, right? They're gonna also ball out.
Yeah.
But I also think like there's a lot of guys who like maybe had a down year, that like really could bounce back. I already talked about T Higgins, like Joe Burrow's in that list too. I
Yep.
think Captain Kirk, like in Atlanta, like if you waited till the very last round to draft a quarterback, you end up with Kirk Cousins. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Um,
If Atlanta makes a comeback, I mean, that's just it's interesting seeing teams have these trajectories, and like Atlanta's been down for years now. I mean, really since that Super Bowl.
yeah,
Um, I wonder if this is the year where a lot of that stuff comes together because they could be exciting, but they
yeah,
haven't been.
yeah, for
Um,
sure. I have. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm hoping I love watching the Lions. I know I'm biased because I got Gibbs, but I think the Lions are going to be fun to watch still. Hoping Gibbs takes that next step as an elite running back. Um, I'm also kind of interested in the Caleb Williams hype just because I've been watching Hard Knocks. I don't know. What's
Yeah.
your take on Caleb?
I think he's going to be good, right? I think that I just saw he got voted as a captain,
Oh,
so he's going to start off the bat, I assume,
hmm,
um, which will be good. But the Bears' play style doesn't seem like it's going to lead to much fantasy. I could be wrong, but he'll be good. He'll be good.
do you have a take on? I see in our pod notes you've got a take on how many games the Lions are going to win.
I think the Lions are the best team in the NFL.
Ooh,
I don't think they're going to lose a game at home.
ooh.
Um,
Okay, maybe I do need to draft Montgomery. Okay.
Yeah, like that. I think I remember hearing something about like Jared Goff indoors is like unstoppable. Like, and he's also another quarterback I would love to have like late. Nobody else is drafting him.
Yep. No.
I saw MJ took your boy right, Jameson Williams.
Yeah, that was I held on to him all year long,
Yeah.
thinking about that keeper. It just never panned out. We'll see. I mean, that's another player that I think could bounce back. I mean, he was coming off the ACL. It can take time. I tell you from experience, it can take time to really trust it. I mean, and he's got I was thinking about Javonte Williams too, like another player that last
Oh
year, like,
yeah, yeah.
takes time. Um, Cool. Well, I'm excited to watch some of those players. I'm hyped to turn on the TV next week and just
Oh,
chill out and watch some
I
football.
cannot freaking wait.
Um, yeah, it will be fun. Any closing thoughts? Any other players you want to mention?
No, I mean, I just re-downloaded YouTube TV, subscribe for another, month-to-month basis till the
Yep.
Super Bowl's over. Watch some college football this weekend. Um, I guess.
Hold on. Hold on.
Oh, we got a pick.
Hold on. A draft pick has just been placed, everybody. Live on the pod. Gabe just picked Dan's brother, Dalton Kincaid, tight end for Buffalo at the pick 319. And that concludes the third round of the draft.
Dude, yeah, that was an exciting gap because I didn't even. I was like, "What? Wow, holy crap! We just already got to the fourth round."
Yep.
And I know Ryan will pick like any moment here.
Following
Martin,
Kincaid, we've got Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, quarterback run of keepers. Preston kept Pittman. Juice kept Cook. Juice is on the clock. Think
yeah.
we can get Juice to make a live pick?
Has he drafted at all today? No, he hasn't drafted today. Maybe we'll see what happens. Did you just message him?
Yeah.
People are gonna be like, "Why is Josh like fucking getting in everyone's ass when they have 12 hours?"
I get in
Uh,
everyone's
you getting
ass.
that ass, Larry?
You gotta open that ass, step right in there. All
Yeah, that's
right.
cool.
Well, we might get a pick, we might not, but let's do a couple more of these pods this year. I am simply just trying not to lose. I'm not even trying to win. I'm just trying not to lose. So that's my strategy for the year. I hope you have a good one too. I mean, Mr. No Picks.
Yeah, I'm in dangerous territory, but I think that gives me a lot of freedom to explore trades. Like Tyreek, if things are not going well, Tyreek, I'm totally fucking trading him. Um, to someone who might win.
Yep.
So I'll be building. The last thing I mentioned it earlier, college football, 12-team playoffs this year is the first year of the 12-team playoffs. It's going to be very exciting.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, if you watch college football like mornings on ESPN, Nick Saban is now on those, and so is Pat McAfee. It's absolutely electric television. So it'll be a good year to watch college football for those who are interested. It'll be a good year for the NFL as always. It'll be a great year for fantasy. Excited for year 13. It's the unlucky year 13. But for me, who has no draft picks and who's just on my last year as commish, but maybe it'll be lucky for someone else.
Well, with that, last year commish, the farewell tour begins.
Let's do it.
Every stadium stop is going to be electric. See you in the next pod, baby.
Cheers.